Hey everyone, it's Tanya. Welcome back to my garden. In today's video, we're going to repurpose my fall container, which has an emerald green arborvitae in there right now, by foraging in my backyard. So let's go along and take a look at the items we find. So here I am in the back of my garden, all the way in the back, and I have this really beautiful red twig dogwood. It is only in its first year, but I bought it actually at a very mature size. So I feel okay clipping off of this, and I think this will add some really nice red interest. As I'm clipping off these red twigs, I'll be focusing on branches that are maybe competing against the other ones or perhaps even rubbing together as these are. And this way I'm creating space for the plant to continue to grow in the way I'd like it to, with proper air circulation in the coming spring. So I already see this one here, those are touching, as well as these here. And I have a feeling I know why this is happening. Over the summer, we were one of the areas in the country that were hit very hard with the cicadas. We had two broods come through and they really decimated many of our plants. So you can see here is an example of where a cicada slid through and laid their larvae. And we had to net everything. So the plants were very constricted, and I think that these twigs just grew together as a result. So I'll be cutting those away again just to prepare the plant for the coming spring. Now back here, all the way in my backyard, I also have these Thuya green giants arborvitaes, and they are in their first season, but they have put on a considerable amount of size. So I'm going to go ahead and cut away from these as well, just to give you an idea of how quickly these grow. This was about this tall when I planted it this spring, and it has already grown a number of feet. So I'll be clipping it from the bottom here. And again, I'll be focusing on branches that are maybe overlapping or competing against one another, just so I prepare it and structure it the way that I like the plant to look. Now, since so many of my evergreen plants are still in their first or second year and I don't want to trim on them, I am going to trim on this Strawberry Sundae hydrangea. This is a paniculata variety and the blooms get just enormous. I have not trimmed this properly because it does fluff on me, so I will be trimming this a little bit harder so the stems can strengthen in the spring. So I'm okay actually trimming this quite short right now, since I do want to train it to grow upright. And what I'll be doing with these blooms, I'm going to spray paint them with artificial snow and stick them into the containers, which I think would be a really fun touch and something different to try. So right now I'll be trimming this down to about this height. And that is a good amount that I would probably be trimming in the spring anyways. So you can see how massive these get. I'll also be trimming on stems that are maybe competing against one another. That way I'm opening up the plant to have more air circulation in the spring anyways. There's this really large one here that I think is a perfect candidate. There, that should give me a really good amount to work with. Here are my supplies that I've gathered together. Here are the hydrangeas that we just sprayed. Here is some ribbon that I have that I've put together. Here are some juniper sprigs that I was able to get from a friend from her garden.
So I think this will add a really nice blue element. Here are the red twig dogwood sprigs that I just clipped, and also some spruce from a friend's garden as well. And here are the arborvitae sprigs that I clipped from my garden, and some pine cones and outdoor ornaments that I've had for a few years. So basically, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start arranging this, and I'm going to focus on red and green. I think it'll just be really pretty. So for this project, you can really have any assortment of items that you can forage for in your garden. If you can get evergreen from friends, even better. I also have a pair of my clippers here if I want to go ahead and trim some items. So I've just gone ahead and clipped my evergreen spruce, and I just like laying it right around the base just to add a little bit of foundation to the actual decoration itself. And I will grab the other one. And that's the nice thing about these arrangements. There's really no right or wrong way to do them. It's really just whatever your style is, whatever you have on hand. I also grabbed some stakes just to stake in the evergreens. And this way, they don't blow away in the wind as the winter progresses here. So I'll just stake those in and gently secure the evergreen. Next, I think I'm going to go ahead and add a few of the large hydrangea blooms. And this is kind of creating my second layer right above the spruce. I'm really liking the way this is looking. I think it adds a lot of layer and texture and dimension. Next, I'm going to add the juniper sprigs just to introduce some of that blue element, and I will likely kind of underplant it right here. Kind of fluff those out. Yeah, that's the great thing about these. There's no right or wrong way to do this. I kind of feel like there's one too many hydrangeas here. Yeah, 3 looks good. Let's just get a close-up of the work we've done so far. So I've just gone ahead and added 3 here and interspersed them with this juniper. So it adds different texture, different colors. I'm going for color and texture. So we have green with the arborvitae, blue with the juniper, and that adds that dimension. The hydrangea also adds that extra texture, and the snowflakes are just really sweet. Next, I'm going to introduce a few of the red twigs in the arrangement. So just kind of get those down in there. And this was frozen, so I just poured some hot water in there before. So I'm just trying to add some height now, just playing up with the different colors and textures. Next, I want to add in some of the arborvitae evergreens. These are similar, but just a little different. Again, just layering and sticking them in. I went ahead and got a skewer and twisted wreath wire around this, so that way I can just make a bow and then stick it right into the dirt at the edge of the arrangement. So here, let's take a close-up of progress so far. So you can see I've just really layered the different textures, stacking them by height, focusing on differences like the juniper bringing the blue, the evergreen bringing the red, or the green rather. Here I have this galvanized container that is empty, and I'll be adding this green foam to it so I can go ahead and make a winter ornament for this container as well. I'm just cutting it with a knife, regular kitchen knife, and then sticking that right in there. So here I have my same supplies that I worked with before, and I'll be going with the same concept of the spiller, thriller, and the filler like I did with the container. And it's really just a matter of layering based on your preference and what your style is. I'm going to make a new red ribbon. I took the other one off. I didn't really like it. I want this one to really pop. So I have my wire here, my ribbon that has the wire in it, and some scissors. And how big your ribbon is, or how long your tail is here, kind of determines the size of your ribbon. So you want to make sure that you leave enough so that it's even on both sides. I learned this from Laura from Garden Answer, I'm sure like many of you. So I just create, and you can make the ribbon with 5 circles, but I usually just do 3 just to make it a little bit more small because I think that fits to scale. And then I've got my wire here. I will wrap it around several times. There. Now I'm actually going to use some of the remnants from the red twig dogwood and then stake it to this and stick it right in the container. Okay, so I've got my red twig. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it right around pretty tightly. I want this to stay secure. I will stick it right in here. Here I'm just cutting them with a little bit of an angle. So I'm really happy with the way this turned out, all in all. Love the texture and the colors. And I'm really pleased with this one. This one's so cute. Thanks so much for joining me in my garden today. I hope you found this video helpful. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.